A major new theme park has just opened. Genting SkyWorlds started its soft opening today in Malaysia. This is the park that was going to be known as 20th Century Fox World before a big legal battle with the Walt Disney Company resulted in it rebranding. We've got some opening day video that we're going to take a look at in a moment, but first let's just talk a little bit about what fans can expect in this new major theme park. Again, like I said, this was originally going to be branded to Fox. Now there are still a bunch of Fox and Fox-affiliated IPs within the park that ultimately Disney decided to go ahead and license to Resorts World Genting, which is where this new park is located. Some of them are, actually I would say most of them are old Blue Sky animation franchises from that now defunct animation studio that Disney closed that's perhaps best known for Ice Age, which is represented in the park. There's also Rio and Epic are a couple of the other animation franchises that you're going to see in there. But it's not just animation franchises. There are some really big kind of live action franchises in there as well, including Independence Day, Planet of the Apes, and most notably, I think, Night at the Museum, which I think could have been a really great IP for a Disney theme park, but ultimately, where are you going to put it? Where's it going to fit? So for these things that I think ultimately Disney decided, their IPs were okay with having out there in a theme park someplace, but we got no room for them. They went ahead and approved the licensing of them to Genting SkyWorld. Real quick, we've got a kind of a drone flyover video of the park from Genting SkyWorld. So let's just take a little quick look at that and do a reaction to it. Very kind of Art Deco feel on the outside. You got the palm trees. You go inside to the park through this little kind of interior, very Art Deco area. This is kind of their little main street. And then the hub of the park's got this nice fountain there with the branding. As we fly over, we see right in the center of the park that was supposed to be a Sons of Anarchy ride, but now it's just been rebranded as Mad Ramp Peak Full Throttle Racing. This is a really tight park. They don't have a whole lot of room in here, but they've made really good use of it. Ooh, California Adventure fans just cried seeing that trolley on the street there. Again, so we see some of the Rio branding in there, the Epic branding that's in there. Way in the back, there's this huge Ice Age peak that we can see. They've got a roller coaster, and they're also going to have a trackless dark ride in there. Just some of the drop ride that's also there. Some of the flats and scrambler type rides. Again, this is Independence Day that we see in here, and Night in the Museum. That's going to be an interactive shooter ride. So Rivetstown there, and then again we see Mad Peak. It's kind of a mashup of maybe Hagrid's and Radiator Springs. There's an Ice Age roller coaster we saw there briefly, and then just kind of some of the shops and atmosphere that you'll see around the park. They're going to have a nighttime spectacular in their Central Park section, and there you go. That's Genting SkyWorlds. Now, I said that this is part of the Resorts World Genting. It's called Integrated Resort, which basically means it's mostly a casino. There's a whole bunch of other stuff there, including an indoor park that's been around for a little while. It doesn't have all of the Fox branded theming in it. But again, the fact that it is associated with a casino resort, that was Genting's assertion of why Disney tried to cancel the licensing deal that Genting had with Fox, asserting that Disney didn't want to be associated with the casino, which Disney denied. They said that there were other reasons why they canceled the licensing deal having to do with performance issues. But it's kind of rich right now that anyone would think that Disney had a problem with gambling, given the way that Bob Chapek has come out and said that they're going to be getting into sports gambling with ESPN, because Disney understands that sports is what's driving attention to their very valuable, very important ESPN franchise right now. People are watching sports because of betting. They're not really watching sports for other reasons. See the Olympics, which don't really have quite the betting component to it, and they've got a whole bunch of political issues as well. But anyway, so the betting, the casino issue all aside, I think the team really seems to have done a kind of interesting job with what I've seen so far from Genting SkyWorlds. I've only been able to find 2 POV videos of rides there, which I'll get to in a little bit. There are several attractions that aren't open yet, apparently. I mean, officially, neither of the 2 big Ice Age attractions are open at this point. That's Ice Age Expedition Thin Ice, which is going to be a trackless indoor dark ride. Indoor dark ride kind of being redundant there. Okay, anyway, we'll just say dark ride. That really kind of gives me vibes from SeaWorld Orlando's Antarctica, except if it had story and an IP. So, maybe that might be something that turns out to be really worth our attention a little later on. And then there's also the Acorn Adventure, which is the outdoor roller coaster that's themed to Scrat from Ice Age, which Disney apparently does not have the licensing right to anymore. There was a big court case recently this week saying that, in fact, the creator of Scrat maintains the licensing rights to that, and they didn't automatically go to Disney, which is probably the death knell for the Ice Age franchise happening anything with them in the future. But anyway, there's a big Invasion of the Planet of the Apes indoor 3D ride. That hasn't opened yet. And the attraction I've most been looking forward to, the one that really drew my attention to this park in this first place, the former Sons of Anarchy ride, a Mad Ramp Peak Full Throttle Racing. That's the new non-IP theme for that. This is the dual power coaster that came from Dynamic Attractions, which has done some just amazing engineering on rides around the world. Everything from the original Soarin' to work on the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride. Great engineers and Dynamic Attractions. They're getting into their own, full-fledged, complete turnkey. We'll bring the creative with it. They just did that. Soar America in Pigeon Forge, that flying theater, and it looks like they have a really interesting ride here. Again, I said it's kind of if you took the motorcycle theme from Hagrid's and put it through Radiator Springs in Cars Land. I have not seen any evidence that ride is open yet. Following social media from people in the park today, I didn't see any photos of the ride in operation. Just kind of that snippet we saw that the park provided of what looked like some testing of the ride. Keep looking out and see if a POV of that drops. But that's really one of the things that drew me to this park in the first place. But let's take a look at some of the POVs that we do have here. I want to start with Night at the Museum, because again, this is a great IP. It's got a lot of family appeal. It's one that I'm kind of surprised I'm not seeing Disney do some more with. Take a look at it. This is very Midway Mania, even to the point it's all screen based, even to the point of having the same pull string firing action on the guns, if you will, that we see at Midway Mania. A lot of the same type of movement there, going through the museum, hitting up targets there. I don't know that screen-based interactive ride was necessarily what I would have thought of with Night at the Museum. I think something that'd be more mixed media animatronic really brings the scale of those amazing set pieces that made that franchise so popular. But hey, interactive rides are fun. I mean, I don't care if they're screen-based. I don't care if they're practical. Obviously, there's a wide difference in them, but they're all just fun. And this one looks like it's a pretty fun attraction as well, with some pretty nifty on-screen graphics. So, definitely, I were there. I'd ride this. I would check it out. The other one that we've got a POV for is Epic. Voyage to Moonhaven. And I'm coming into this one with I haven't seen Epic, I have to admit it. Don't know anything about it, but what I see here is it's kind of giving me some vibes of the Avatar boat ride, but kind of even plussed up a little bit in terms of just longer and more stuff in it. Again, that kind of idea of mixed media. You've got animatronics in there, but you've also got a lot of media in there as well. Different lighting environments, kind of starting really kind of dark here, and then moving on into a much brighter environment. Apparently, this is I heard a lot of people at the time compare this to Fern Gully, with that kind of the environmental theme that you're going with it. But I really like what they've done with this. I mean, just kind of the interaction between the animatronics and the media itself. And then I've only really got a partial POV with this. I think there's a lot of color into it. There's some movement in it. Again, I just love indoor boat rides. They're a great, It's relaxing. It's you've got time to look around at things. You can create a truly immersive environment where you can see things around in 360. Opportunity to do a lot of really great work with set pieces. Just riding on a boat is just I keep coming back to the word relaxing. I mean, even if you're creating peril and drama and emotion and everything, you've got the core of this is a pleasant experience. Being on a boat, just kind of slow moving through a dark ride environment. That's why Pirates, Small World, all these attractions are so popular. And now you do come up to a lift there at the end of this. So it kind of gives me Disneyland vibes at the end of Pirates of the Caribbean there. But this takes you back outdoors where there's still some more more limited animation, even a little bit of screens there, but it does give you a little bit of a nice little, what I'm assuming is the ending of the ride here. Again, I don't have the complete POV of this, just partial, which makes me wonder whether they're officially allowing people to be recording things or not. This was not a media day. This is just a soft opening. I mean, there clearly were invited, influencers and media there, but this wasn't an official opening where you have a lot of media in that would be bringing in professional equipment and giving you those type of POVs. If that were to happen at some point in the future, fingers crossed, I would see if I can get out there for that, or if we can get somebody out there for that. Again, all in all, I mean, there's certainly a lot of attractions that are still missing from this park. So, and then, it wouldn't be fair to give it any type of grade or assessment from, half a world away, just looking at POV videos of things. But this was a park that got on my radar several years ago. Really, when I first saw the reveal for the Dynamic Attractions coaster at IAAPA. But there's enough here that I've seen that I'm still really interested in this park. I mean, even though I haven't been able to see a lot of the attractions I really want to see, such as Mad Ramp Peak. I'd love to see the Invasion of Planet of the Apes. I've only seen a couple of snippets of the Independence Day Defiance, which is a flying theater ride. But, again, flying theater rides, they're fun. They're just fun. The environment looks, I mean, it's cozy, it's tight, but it looks really well decorated. I think Greg Pern and the team that have been putting this together have done a really, really interesting, amazing job. And so I'm looking forward to hearing more from Genting SkyWorlds as it moves through its soft opening, moves into an official opening, and, hopefully debuts all of its attractions, and we get a full picture of what this park is going to be like.